Loadout, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. I'm Mitchell616 and I'll be providing straight up guides for all your Star Citizen needs. If you like the content, please feel free to like and subscribe and let me know in the comments what guides you'd like to see in the future. Now, let's launch straight to what matters. To accomplish this, you're going to need a solid loadout. I'd recommend the Demicore or the FS9 LMG. You're going to need the Grey Cat Max Lift, a handful of med pens and a medical gun. You're also going to need a minimum of 2 people, but I would recommend 3 or more. And when you get to the Lazarus sites, you're going to need as much ammo as you can carry. So your first step is to head to one of the 10 possible Faro data centers located on Pyro 4. You will notice that on your approach there will be multiple anti-air turrets that need to be taken out before you can land safely. If you're in a smaller ship like a Connie or something similar, you want to remain at least 2 kilometers out and then take them out one by one from a distance. And for those that are fortunate enough to own a Polaris or an Idris, this step is very simple. As long as there's you and one other aboard, you can quite easily fly around and take out the turrets one by one. So once that's done and you find a good place to land, I like to land on the right side of the complex. The first thing you're going to want to do is head towards the workers' quarters. This is where you will find the maintenance keycard, which is sat on top of the desk just as you walk through the door. Once you've obtained the maintenance keycard, you're going to head back outside, up the right hand side of the complex until you get to the ramp. You're going to go up the ramp, up the staircase to your left hand side, then you want to turn right through the doorway heading towards the main lobby. Now the main lobby is going to be the centre point of everything that you do. So you're going to fight your way through the guards. Once you've done that, you're going to turn left, heading through the door marked Security Level 1 Laboratories. This will lead you to the Edine Labs. Once again, you're going to want to take out all the guards and then head straight forward to the Security Level 2 doorway, which will be labelled Storm Study. Now you have 2 options. You can put on a lab coat yourself, or you can do a soft takedown by pressing the middle mouse button or your scroll wheel, which will knock the technician unconscious, allowing you to tractor beam them over to the doorway, allowing you to hit the button and administer a med pen, waking them up, and the doors will open. Once you're in the Storm Study, you're going to head straight forward to the side of the room. You're going to access the computer, looking through the emails to find the code for the safe, giving you access to one of a possible 3 data processing keycards.
Remember, the work you do here is private. Always protect your work.
If for any reason when you get there the safe is empty or it's already been opened, you want to head back to the lobby, head straight across, going through your second doorway labelled Laboratories. You're going to turn left up the stairs, then turn right, then turn left again up the second set of stairs, where you can get yourself a second technician, tractor beam them to the doorway, pressing the button and using a med pen to open the doors. You want to go straight in to the far side of the room and you want to find the laptop which is sat on the table. Once you access the laptop, you'll find the email giving you the code to the safe, which is to your right hand side. To get to the 3rd data processing keycard location, you're going to want to head back to the lobby. This time you're going to go straight across, back through the first security level 1 door that we went through, then through the data processing corridor, heading up the stairs and bringing you to 2 doors. One being data processing and the second being data analysis. You want the data analysis room, so you're going to get through the door using a technician again. Once inside the room, the computer will be on your right hand side and the safe will be on your left hand side. So you want to use the computer, check the emails, get the code, and then move over to the safe, which will then be on your right hand side, getting you access to the 3rd and final data processing keycard. Now that you have your keycard, you're going to head back outside the door and to the doorway on your right hand side. You're going to enter the keycard, which will allow you access to the data processing room. Now you want to sweep the room, taking care of any guards that might be hiding around the corners. Once you've done that, you're looking for the Restricted Facility Credentials printer, which is located in the closest pillar to the balcony. Once you've found that, turn to your left and you'll find a computer screen in the corner of the room. Access that and find the code, and then head back to the printer, enter the code and click confirm. This will start a 5-minute holdout scenario where you're going to get waves and waves of NPCs coming after you, and you've just got to defend. Make sure that you keep an eye on the printer, as when it gets to 50% you will need to hit the continue button, then you'll get more waves of NPCs, deal with them, then once the printer reaches 100%, collect your card and then get out of there. I'd like to leave through the door to the left, which is near the computer, because it gives you a straight shot back to your ship if you landed where I mentioned earlier. Once you get back to your ship, you want to head to one of a possible 6 Lazarus transport hubs, 3 marked Phoenix and 3 marked Tithonus. Whilst making your approach, I would recommend using the sonar function of your ship by hitting the tab key on the keyboard. I can't remember what this is called. If you could please let me know in the comments, that'd be fantastic. Now, I would recommend landing as close as possible to the cargo elevator. This will make it easier for you to retrieve your fangs and your pearls once you've finished with the Stormbreaker content. From the landing pad, you want to head down the path, past the restricted access sign, into the main door of the facility, making sure to deal with any guards that you come across along the way. From there, it's a straight shot through the facility to the Lazarus shuttle station. Once you've waited for the shuttle to come in and you're on the shuttle, the doors will close and then this will take you to the Lazarus side. Personally, I would take this time to restock and repull any ammo and to make any last minute changes to your equipment. Once you reach the other side and you're exiting the shuttle, you want to head straight forward around the boxes as far down as you can go. 9 times out of 10 there will be more NPCs than this. I think we just got lucky on this run. You want to keep making your way down that walkway until you reach the end, then you want to turn left and use the railing as cover to take out NPCs on the lower levels. Once the lower levels are clear, you're going to vault over the railing and drop down to the lower level behind the boxes, using them for protection. You want to check the door to your left hand side, as that is a spawn point, and once you've done that, head through the door marked entrance 1 and enter the facility. Now within this room you can use the medbeds to heal up, but at this time you can't set a respawn point in case you go down. We'll get to where you can do that a little bit later. Once you're all sorted, you want to head through the door marked specimen cache and deal with any guards that are on the other side. Then you want to come back on yourself and look through the window that's in the medbay, and you're looking at the periodic table that's on the wall. You'll see 2 elements that are highlighted in red. These are the 2 that you're going to need. If you look at the top left hand corners of the boxes, you've got numbers. Put those 2 numbers together and this will give you the code for the door. If the first code doesn't work, swap the numbers around and then try it again. This will get you inside the office of Dr. Logan Yorrit. In there you'll find the Sterling Exploration Suit, which will enable you to pick up the egg. Once you're all equipped, you can head out the door, down the corridor, turning left and down the stairs, turning left again. Follow that corridor straight down and head through the yellow door to your left hand side marked Security Level 1. This facility layout is more or less a one-to-one of the Pharaoh facility, so it will feel familiar. Once inside that door, deal with any NPC guards that may be about. Then you can head across that room towards the Security Level 2 door. To get through this door, you will need to have the Sterling Exploration Suit equipped. But in my case, we had the Org Leader who came with his already equipped. So you want to hit the button on the door, let the scanner scan your suit, then the doors will open, letting you into the specimen cache. Before you start the incubation process, this is the time where you want to set your spawn imprint. So head back outside and head for one of the many infirmaries scattered around the Lazarus location. Once you've done this, head back inside and you can now start the incubation process. Once in here, you want to head to the egg incubator and you want to follow the process on the screen until you've got to insert the card. Once the card's inserted, you're going to start a second holdout defense scenario. Just cover all the doors, stop any NPCs getting in, and jobs are good. Try and stick close to the egg and not venture too far away, because every 30% of the release procedure you will need to hit the continue button. Once the release procedure is finished and you've collected the egg, You want to head out of the rear door to the specimen cache and then take your first right and head down the staircase. Turning left and heading to the doorway labelled storage. Once you're in the storage room, you want to head straight forward and turn left, watching out for any NPCs and juvenile Valakkars. After that, it's a straight shot, down the path, down the ramp, and carry on straight forward, all the way to the glowing beacon at the end of the path, where you will place the egg to call the Apex Valakkar. I recommend having 1 to 2 people covering you as you head down this path, as you will be attacked by juvenile and adult Valakkar. Once you've inserted the egg into the beacon and the procedure started, you want to defend yourself for 30 seconds before the Apex Valakkar fight actually starts. I would use this time to quickly find a safe place to stand and to use something as cover while you do this fight. Personally, I find it easier to do this fight from a distance, hiding behind a building. Now, let's talk damage. There's 3 main locations where you can damage the Valakkar. If you look at the image on the screen, you're aiming for the green glowy bits. If you shoot at the body, you'll do a bit of damage. If you shoot at the glowy spots on the body, you'll do a bit more damage. And if you shoot it right in the centre of the mouth, you'll do the most damage. Once you've defeated the Valakkar, now it's time to harvest. So you want to approach the Valakkar, removing the teeth with the Grey Cat Max Lift, and you want to harvest the pearls using the multi-tool mining attachment. I recommend getting the teeth off the Valakkar and getting them to the cargo elevator and stored as soon as possible. Now that all that's done, all that's left to do is to take the tram back to the other side, pull your loot up through the cargo elevator, get it onto your ship, and then fly away to store it at your chosen location. Unfortunately, at the time of the recording, the cargo elevator on the other side wasn't working, so we couldn't pull the teeth up. If we had have been able to do this, our chosen location is one of the Wickerlaw sites, because you'll be handing these in for one of the Wickerlaw contracts. And there you go, that's it. That is the Stormbreaker Sandbox mission. And if you're still here, thank you for watching to the end. I'm Mitchell616, and this has been your To The Point guide. If you like the content, please feel free to like and subscribe. And if you have any ideas for any more walkthroughs that you'd like, please let me know in the comments. Bye for now.
Shuttle is departing.